we are doing now, we live in a period which is thinking of the heaven and land. It's just when we are seeing some rice or some feed for them, its meaning is to give to them.
This is a monastery.
That purpose.
We've been inside the temple. In the background you can see the Buddhist statue, prayer wheels.
It's because, yes, when he was just grow up.
This is part of the Ganden monastery complex. We were in a few small buildings, but this is the large one that we're going to enter now. Young girl all dressed up.
1970s people. You know, today is the 21st century. All of the technology is a computer, but still in our universities teach the base on that kind of equipment. On your left and right hand side, here is a lot of nowadays they got the jobs. Most of them got the job.
This is a look at the countryside we're driving through. Very few trees. Up on the ridge line there are a few. On the other side of the bus there's quite a few more. There's a family group that's living in girders, going up over one of the hills, and I'm not sure exactly where we're going.
Yes. Okay, welcome to the entrance of the...
This is the entrance to the park that we're going to this afternoon. We have to go across that bridge, but the bridge is down, so we...
If you like.
Oh, for sure. If you have a bag
bridge. Something happened to it and they're rebuilding camp. They got their cattle there. This is the Gur camp. Go ahead, you're all right.
Some walk and some. Who wants to ride a horse? I'm going to order a horse. If you want.
No, but are you going to be here when we finish lunch so that we get back on the bus when we finish lunch?
Yeah.
You'll have to use my chair. Hello?
Okay, all of the group. I'm going to take your photo. Please. Who wants to take your photo? Please give me your camera.
Are we all ready?
Yes, we are ready.
2, 3, fire! Well, I might be, but they should give them some little down. I know, I've got
The hill we're at. Looking out behind this monument down in the valley, see the girds and the houses and all that goes with this.
Oh, it's you and me again.
some odd steps is this particular monument. Shows a soldier with an upright bata. It's a mixture of Russian buildings that are, many of them falling apart. Off in the very distance, you can see nuclear, like we're here at the Buddha. Now that guy must be 50 feet high. Gonna have our lunch. These are all rolling hills. Water supply here.
There's some memorial statue. If you just go straight, there's the one very big bird, which is the imagination of the bird kangar. Yes, kangar. Can you see that? So that looks a bit awful. We call this mountain as Volkan. It's just backside of that mountain, Ulaanbaatar city state. You visit just backside of that mountain, and Volkan Mountain is one of the first strictly protected area.
Young horses tethered. And over here they're milking the mares.
If you got your picture, then the next tree can go.
He's milking the mare there. They got the colt next to him to keep the mare quiet. Poor, very old crossbow. The arrow is actually a torch, so they could fire it out and cause a fire in the girths or wherever.
So that you recent repairs like the shafts here.
Yeah. We're inside a restaurant girth. Notice all the pelts that are up on the ceiling. This is a single bed over there. Stove here in the middle, going up into the outlet, going around, little table over there for coffee. The second bed is here. Generally they have two to the girth, but I guess I was fortunate and got a single. very neat, quite decorated. And it must be about 20 foot across, or maybe a little bit more. Running a little bit higher after the rains. It's starting to rain here again.
Old train. Old.
Kids are down there trying to determine whether we're going to make this ford or big decisions being made.
Well, I guess that the road seems a tad steep on the other side.
Yes, it does, just a tad.
Is that a real house, George? Is that a real house? A real house?
The river might come up another foot or two if we had gone across. So the tour members are out walking up the side of the mountain. We're going to spend a little time here and then head to, going to ford that portion of it. Well, the lots are pretty good sized, aren't they?
Yeah. Shall I take quickly picture there?
Oh, look at wings.
Yes, I did it.
Can you move that?
Put onto the head, you cook it very sharply cook, okay? Very quickly. Quickly to the up. Who wants to be take the
Yellow submarine. Talking. Funny they can find the hair or the bag.
which meaning is his mother has got born a new baby. He still don't like the milk, and this is after stop. The best is making the food.
Well, here are the reindeer that we've gone 2 hours and more up those roads to get to see. Now we're going to spend an hour or so riding on a yak cart.
Are you?
Go right ahead, you're part of it.
He's trying to get a picture.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Sue.
Sue, do me a favor and just sort of move back just a sec. Thank you.
All the horse riders are on that side. They're going out for an hour horseback riding.
had too much cabbage for
Okay.
dinner.
I think you
did.
Rolling through.
I just want to stay right away from the wheel.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Look.
Yeah.
This is in front of you. This was almost
Your
in
hat is in the wheel.
Careful,
God,
yeah,
all they
yeah,
need
yeah,
is to
yeah.
have her strangled in the wheel.
Sure, it's not there. You also.
Just ruin the rest.
It's very hard to be driven through mud, water, over rocks, anything you can imagine. Yeah.
On the road,
Not this morning, did you?
We heard
5
that you were
o'clock.
horseback riding up the hill. No, I heard the Yanks coming through.
Actually, I start laughing because it reminds me, of course,
The lake, this is a very, very large lake.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at the draw.
Aha, here comes the show. On his track.
It's 120 kilometers long and at its broadest is 30 kilometers.
Guys,
And it's very
by the
deep.
way, I can give you already a little bit of information. We promise you that we're going to Spain about a small circle. Last time that I said how this started, before they never did it for the troops. The last time I had one.
Oh yeah, there's a rainbow.
With the rainbow.
Rainbow, yeah.
Very nice, Henry.
Very
I
nice.
like it. I like it too much. Yeah, it's a very beautiful.
Mongolia song. Which song can you sing? Which song? Okay, hard. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, go. Maybe left to sing and everybody listens.
You know that song? I bet. Who wants to bet that song? Also, Mongol is very popular for art. Do you know that song? If you know guys. They don't. You gotta show.
Hey!
got a couple of trucks in the river itself they're trying to tow out. We may be staying here for a while until that river goes down. It rained very hard last night. And this is going to be the well, they're out in the middle of the river and they aren't getting very far. The truck or the van they're trying to tow the other one out with is only the thing is they've got the second one. There it goes. Here was another one that was dumb enough to try it. He hit the soft part of the bank and now
the horse is coming across, Joe. Oh, jeez. It's like a funny movie.
Be around here, okay? No. Also, Bodo, it's gonna lose your eye, you know? It gets into your eye. Bodo.
To try to get this, I mean, yes, maybe you will, yes, maybe you will.
we drove back across this smaller stream to be sure to be on the backside. We're now going to wait an hour to see if the river goes down at all. Well, we got 4 vans that are stuck out in the river, and I don't see that they got a chance or a hope to get out of there. Current is moving very fast. River again. We've driven for 2 hours. Now we have to ford it here. And they're trying to determine where best to do it. It's running awful full here. Point. We got our guide up there relieving himself. Restrooms are wherever you stop. Talking it over again. Gonna try this section of the river. See if we can make it through. Seems to be that we haven't got enough time to get here. Well, we made it to this across. Bobo, move just a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
Up to a village.
If you get a certain hour, maybe someone is easy to take it. That's why. Maybe good.
Time for the goats. Ride him.
Ride a cowboy!
We invite you to go inside. First one. Go ahead, please. If you want to go have a look inside, we invite you inside. Let's go.
All right.
Oh my goodness, look at you.
We're at this nomad camp. Just saw some of the goats they're milking. They got the whole family, including kids down to about 5 or 6 years old, out there helping do the milking. Very large flock of sheep.
They don't have a stove in the middle.
No, this is. I'm not sure they live in.
Yeah, what's yours down to it?
Wait a minute.
I don't see really a bed.
어떤 한번 시키면
Well, you can.
시에서 또
They have a camel. Looks
better. It's when we are going back. And here's I want to all of you one time. Extract 5 parts, main 5 parts. First of all, here is we call the smoking hole. We call the ton. Also the window, girl's window. And here is the 2 column, which place the grasses growing very high. They cut it and hold the land, and they prepared a lot of grass. There are a lot of grass and also a lot of feed. Which is every morning they take the food nomads.
Oh, we want to know? We want to know if it was family.
Okay. Later on, you're gonna think at the bus, you're gonna ask me. Really. Now I'm never saying it later on, okay? Directly answered. Dell.
It's in computers.
There's always somebody who stands at the back of it.
The white fucking photo.
Gonna have a sit.
Okay, guys.
All right, that'll work.
I know.
Thank you.
Go stand there, please. Okay, take a seat. Go stand there, Anna, please. Okay, guys. Here we go. Lily's ready? Maybe jump inside. Right.
We're at this nomad camp.
That's what I want to say. Most of the time they give the best pictures.
You can
DC cameras when you're in the
see
jungle,
where the
they, because of humidity or
sand hills are
and the old-fashioned
encroaching on the land. So this is near desert conditions.
Yeah, we get some red wine, I think.
Even rides a horse in the horse races that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of days. Our corn.
Okay, you can do the opposite.
This monastery goes back to the 1800s.
I think Mike and Ken.
This old monastery goes back many, many years. And at the point now that it's nothing but a very large museum dedicated to the Buddhist religion. Bob. They're repairing the wall over there, and what it looks like is a bricks or stone on the outside with the dirt fill.
Here is some of the sheep microphone. 5-5. Okay.
Very simple game.
Okay. It's
5-5 in each hand.
We're gonna hide in our palm, and we need to guess in the numbers. It's both of together.
Yeah. Just a good sum of the 5 total. So 1, 2, 3. I say 4 together. How much should you say?
5.
Okay, we've opened 2, 3. Then I have to give to him, and then go continue. And until you finish. That's one game. Okay, next game. Maybe explain with a handful and.
Okay, next game is when we are through after these games. It's for example, it's many of you. It doesn't matter. I'm going to show you more. It's easy to understand. Throughout these uncles, here is the. Okay, first of all, I have to introduce something. Yeah. It's a horse.
Otherwise, it takes too long. Don't move.
And we're gonna choose in the four sheep ankle bone, and we throw it. Okay. When we are throw, I put it here is my horse.
You start from here.
Okay.
Start from here. Yeah, we just listen. We do it like this to make it clear. We start from this side, Boulder. This we get to go around. Okay, Boulder's number 1. So your horse is going to be beside his. Then next to Bob's, your horse.
Nearing the end, we have about 10 of them lined up, so that Robert, yellow hat, is down to the end, or one from the end.
You can have luck.
Now we'll see how he does.
It's a 2 camel.
Yeah.
2 camel.
Tell me what you want now.
Bob won the game, but they are very good looking animals. If you look real close, you can see how they hobble them. Take the reins and tie the 2 front legs together. They got 2 hobbled and the others tied to them. Making concrete Mongolian style. Filling in a post hole. It's the ugliest looking concrete I've ever seen in my life. They're building this fence. It's going around the property, and they're evidently doing this side here. They've completed from up at that point through the fancy gates, and they're headed down towards the fence line clear to the end. It's a big undertaking with very primitive conditions. Notice the fellow welding on the ground. Weather has been unusual, to say the least. There seems to be always rain clouds near the horizon, or else it's raining like no one's business. The weather is very changeable here. The temperature now is probably in the low 70s. The gur that you see there is one of the world's largest That is the restaurant for this Gur camp. They're putting up a Gur tent here. You can see the main posts are up in the ring at the top. And now they're inserting the poles directly into the top of it. Once that's done, then they put the inner liner on it and the felt goes over it. And then the outer covering, the waterproof covering, goes over that. I counted one of them, there were 80 poles that went around it. Well, they've got one more to go on the roof trusses. At the end, there's a hole in there and they got a rope that they tie into the lattice work. Well, here's the group that's going to go horse riding. You can notice the size of the ponies. Gur that they were putting up, and they're now beginning to wrap it on the side with the felt. Once they get that, put on the waterproofing across the top and then tie it all the way around like this finished one here is done, which they hold at this time of year. And it's going to consist mostly of horse racing, wrestling, and archery. Little kids on their horses. Large people and horses, motorcycles. He missed it. He's got all the silver on the other side is the dagger. He's got his long pipe that's good for
this one.
It was very cute.
These two guys are attracting a lot of attention. A couple of our friends here have Polaroids, and once you get them started on Polaroid film, and so they can see what it all looks like, they want more and more. Mongolian clothes. His boots are something else. Everybody's got to get their picture. Take loose a herd of horses. Bringing in another group.
Hi. Hi. Hey, hey.
All behind. Here comes the two leaders, right in behind that car. Yeah.
They're tied. And then there's
They're the winners.
Sixth place. Little girl. In the leather armor. I think he's the guard, and they've got the emperor and his wife sitting in those chairs there. Play a dancing contest. There's the other side of the, it's the emperor and the queen dressed up.
See, they're stopping.
Will you
hit your thighs. Doing the bird. Quickness, huh?
The other tape.
Maybe they're just beginners and they're trying to
First one that touches the ground is the loser.
These guys are still working on it. Oh, he's not going to go down easy.
Well, defensively.
Didn't touch an elbow.
Wrestling. Here we go.
The belt. That's something. Hang on. Okay.
It is, yeah. Even size. And
You want this scene badly?
You can't take action pictures. No, not action. Oh. See, they do that touch-to-touch thing. That's what they do, isn't it? It's like the, what is it? It's the goat that do the better. We don't dare root for one or the other.
No.
other girls?
No, that's the only one.
Yeah. No, but it belongs, no, it belongs to one of the boys.
Maybe they're in the same family because they seem to be.
Well, she went and just whipped it out of his hand.
Well, I bet it's a brother.
Yeah, that's
She took the candy and gave it to
You're doing it backwards now.
Don't worry about it.
Not worry about her, worry about the boy that got left out.
Got a little 1-year-old on a horse. She knows how to hang on already. Look at, she's got the reins. All by himself. This is a neat way of carrying a car. Well, another adventure on our Mongolian trip. The front tire on the bus has to be changed. Looks like a rock punctured the center of that, and that's about a 12-ply tire, maybe more. This will be our dining room. Hustie Tourist Resort. It's actually in National Park. Multi-camp, deer stones, monuments from the old times, research station. We stopped because there's wild horses up the other horses we see. We're way out in the middle of nowhere.
Three babies. Small babies.
How young is the youngest?
I think it's about
Hold on, yeah.
Postcards?
When you see a lot of them,
I think I already got one. Oh, Mongolian massage, okay.
Okay, guys, follow me inside because Jeff started.
There's 135 children that are housed here. This is a private orphanage.
Stop. Give me. So Jeff, this is the playing ground?
yes.
Okay.
Kitchen, bathroom, and these are all bedrooms.
How many bedrooms they got totally?
4 here.
4 here. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the cat's in them, you see.
The thrower. Sleep. Very small cribs. No mattresses, no nothing, just on the hard surface.
Outside? Thank you.
And the new school building used to be a shop.
A bunch of the children have come in from some place that they had been.
School classrooms.
The older children, 15, 16, 17, and they'll stay here. He mentioned up to 20. They all have jobs here and to do, plus care for the children.
Help, right? Because you need to find out. Last year when they was here, there was this.
Oh, did you get that? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Looking at digital photographs.
You know, huh? Here it comes again, my friends. Here it comes again, my friends. I
So we're here for 2 years.
You stand together and I'll take yours.
House away from the main building, which houses about 8 of those little ones there. Looking across the street, you can see the roofs of some of the houses that are here. This is not an upscale locality. There's about 50 of the children in from 6 months up to 4 years old. Or perhaps more, I don't know. Yep.
Yeah. They do, don't they?
Oh boy, is she a bossy little thing.
Oh yeah, she's right in the thick of everything.
That's fun.
Yeah, you're a mother. A mini mother.
All right, guys.
Oh boy, you could get right there.
Mongolia here. His hair was brownish and was more the same texture of ours.
Well, this is what a Gobi Desert looks like. We're on a very huge flat plain with hills in the far distance. We're now trying to figure out which gurs we're going to be having. This, I guess, would be the shower rooms and the restaurant. And they keep going down there. I think only 50 of them got off the plane, so they're spread out amongst several of the Gur camps. This Gur here is pretty nice. It's quite nice indeed. I got 2 chairs and a private bathroom, if you can imagine. Well, it's fairly early in the morning, 9 o'clock. We're going over to the mountain ranges there for looking at the glacier that's in one of those mountains. This is a whole lot of nothing. I expected sand dunes and all the rest of it associated with the desert, and it isn't. It's just a gravel plain everywhere you look. We're out here in the desert. This large flock of goats and another behind me. Here comes it. Kid and the camel are herding. It rocks.
Treating the animals. Is that the drive?
Notice.
Just be careful doctor when they are stitched. You're going to all of your body too.
It is very arid.
More to ride a camel.
Арджино. Пончиле море цогсте. Барон хатат. Арсан.
We've seen it on the way anyway.
Okay,
We walk behind you guys.
Good.
Okay, and
Valley that I've ever been in. Sheer walls. I'm sure up to 1,000 feet high. We're going into a spot now 300 meters on where there's supposed to be ice.
Just a bit, that's wet. Oh, there we go.
From I don't know how long ago. But this is unexpected in the Gobi Desert. This is an extremely narrow canyon, and way back beyond the fellow climbing through is another portion of a glacier.
des contrées.
Oh, we even have salt and pepper.
In the future, when you make me a ham and cheese sandwich, I'm going to have this on.
Enjoy.
We're back in the park. We've been out. We came back in and they set up another fee that wasn't justified because they had gotten a license to come in with all fees paid, but it's like everything else, somebody's on take. So we drove up into this little parking area here, and this is where we had our lunch, in amongst the dust that's blowing through. They brought all of the foods, drinks, and the works up from the Gare camp that we stayed at last night. Here's the skull of a bighorn sheep. They have tremendous horns on them, and they can come around into almost a curl for the big and the older sheep. 3 foot of snow here. This is a 100-year Mongolian toilet. Where the slides have come down the snow. Here are them. Ducks, huge eagles. It's amazing the wildlife that has been out here or is out here. The horns of the bighorn sheep. Panoramic view of the landscape in this part of the world. Not quite sure how this will turn out as a film, but we're taking a look. Snow leopards, lynx, bighorn sheep, wolf skins. And this is how big the bighorn sheep get. Very large animal. More horns. This one's got an almost complete curl. Again, some type of a cat. Foxes. Snow leopard skins. Wolf again. And of course we got our double humped camel. And gazelles and smaller deer type. And we're at another.
Where do you stay? Yeah, good. Where do you stay now?
On the Gare camp.
Tavşan.
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 Tavşan. How many children are in this family?
Yeah, just one dog.
This is fine. Okay, click.
This is the mother,
There, once.
daughter,
And you have two.
grandson,
Yes.
three other children. Where did she go? Family group. The lady here, the grandmother, is 70. She just lost her husband. It's the granddaughter.
Yeah, all of you, can you see the dog? He's going
This
up.
is her daughter.
Behind the rain, please. The dog is here like that. It's going up.
Yes.
This is all very unusual.
And the young girl there. Well, we're out in the middle of nowhere. We stopped for the horses that are grazing in a little bit of green. There's two camels there. Other tourists are also watching. And on the back side of this truck, there's another bunch of horses. The wind is blowing like crazy. And dinosaur area, and this is a Gur camp that's there. We were supposed to stay in this one, but it didn't work out. Village that's out here in the desert. There's a source of water here.
And you know, guys, the weeping camel. Weeping camel family they stay here. These children, those children.
When the, oh, they came here on their motorcycle.
A lot of erosion too, isn't there?
Yeah.
Amazing, isn't it? All of a sudden, here you are, 900 million miles from nowhere, and a damn little village pops up.
Yeah, right here.
Desert.
Right.
Hey, Leon.
George,
An opportunity here.
they're filling up the vehicles that are coming in, and we're waiting to get gassed up. And collection of locals, a lot of the kids, something to do, I suppose, so they come up here. Another gas station over there. The Gurs. Completed buildings, probably put in by the Russians when they were here. They exploited every bit of the country.
Maybe the guy in the yellow or the orange, because he asked you already a couple of times. Yeah, maybe him.
Well, they're getting ready to take a Polaroid picture. Like all kids. Well, there's a family movie. It's the nomadics moving to a new location. They've got all of their equipment on board that trailer.
They're moving house.
We've got two tanks on each of these buses. And the pumps, one is electric, one is manual. Probably in case the power goes out. We're at the fronting, so they evidently have a well in there furnishing these two Gur camps with water. Getting in and looking at the cliffs where some of the first dinosaur bones and eggs were found. After we have lunch, we're going to go over to the dig and see what we can see at this location, pump down there. He's going to take and put it up into the tubs up above, which will become the shower.
They're churning along.
He's put about 10 gallons of water up there. But that doesn't go very far when you got a whole group of people coming in and flushing that toilet. So he's putting the large cans on the little cart. He'll drag them back down to the well down there and load up and pull it back, put it in the drums. It's a good job, good for all day. From 1920 to 1925 that they discovered the dinosaur eggs and then a lot of the dinosaur fossils. It is amazing that they came across this desert to this one place and were able to discover it. This is a very peculiar tree. They call this a forest. All those roots are up out of the ground. Mr. Andrews discovered the dinosaur bones, and that'll be over on the other side of this knoll that we're on. This is part of the gorge. This is part of the gorge on the other side. Erosion is quite a factor. This is looking down into one of the gullies of the gorge. Dinosaur bones were buried in this sediment that had been probably a very large lake. This scenery is just spectacular. Looking out into the vast. Well, we're up here on top of that flaming gorge, and here is the souvenir shop, which happens to be all of the different types of rocks from around the area, including dinosaur eggs. I'll go get a shot of those. The round object, the larger one at the edge of the table, is the so-called dinosaur egg. There are others over there. Petrified wood, crystals, everything you can imagine. There are sections over there with small snails. They're dinosaur bones here.
This is the spine, the vertebrae. The head.
But if you want to know for sure, you have
What?
it sticks a little bit, like it's a little bit sticky.
What is sticky? My thumb or my tongue?
Oh.
Come on.
No, just like sticky. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Like kissing the blarney stone. Or the cod. You ever done that in Newfoundland? You have to kiss the cod. Oh, I tell.
Actually, even there when you're standing there.
Not that.
Oh, that's as much now here. This is.
All right. The sand dunes. Patricia has gotten to her knees, so she's about done for. They're sinking in quite a ways. They aren't going to go to the very top. Patricia only got halfway up and sat down. What an end to the dunes. Our tour guide likes to wrestle. He's taking on all the drivers but the big one.
I tried not to. I hope I didn't.
I'm talking to Mike every time.
I know.
I know.
Every time I shift around, he shifts around. It's like smoke in a fire, you know? He's following you.
I want to get him going down.
Watch the stool. If somebody falls on that stool.
Well, you know, the secret behind
There, a guy went down.
have your money.
We've been at the airport here in Gobi now. Supposed to have left at 6:30 in the morning. It's now a little after 4 and the plane did come in. But this runway is dirt. And the plane got down to the end of the runway and now it's stuck. The people have gotten off and they've going to go down there with some shovels and dig them out. This ought to be